Ukrainian team blew up Nord Stream pipeline, claims report. Spokesperson for Zelensky denies. Wall Street Journal's claims. This is not Daily Mail they're talking about. Wall Street Journal reports this, and they said, no, you guys are wrong, and again accuses Russia of carrying out the, what was it, Rob? Go to the top, carrying out the
Nord Stream pipeline
sabotage.
Yeah.
Now, let's actually read this entire article, Rob. Is this the WSJ one, or do you have the whole thing for me to read?
And Rob,
Let me see if I can get the WSJ.
I want to read the entire article that talks about this, because at the beginning, when this happened, we all know who they blamed. Everybody and their mothers looked at who?
Vladimir Putin. You know what? Because they said they said that some analysts and commentators, it was everybody, but it said that basically PBD that him blowing it up would put pressure on Europe by damaging the pipeline. Russia could escalate the energy crisis in Europe. That was the main thing, especially in the winter months that were coming.
Rob, while you're pulling up the Wall Street Journal article, you can at least show that headline. It's interesting. It goes, "A drunken evening, a rented yacht, the real story of the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage." And it says private businessmen funded the shoestring operation, which was overseen by a top general. President Zelensky approved the plan, then tried unsuccessfully to cut it off.
You know what that means? He gave them the green light, and then it was like, come back. And they're like, no, we're already doing it. Yeah. Go figure that one out.
Tom, thoughts?
I think when you look at all this, what usually happens in war, under the fog of war, is when something weird like this comes up, there's usually more truth to it than you really wish there was. Was it more logical that the Russians did it? If American media were being pushed by our own intelligence people to carry the story that the Russians did it, would that help the Ukrainian funding through Congress against Russia?
Of course,
oh,
Tom.
boy, that would. Oh, and those bastards blew up a pipeline that's bringing gas to people for homes in winter. So they go there. And then you come back to something like this and you say, I always look at this stuff, and the weird stuff, usually history comes out and it ends up being correct. So the weird stuff on battles like this.
Do you know when we first reacted to this, the biggest thing was, why would Russia do this? Because if I'm not mistaken, Rob, can you type in who owns the Nord Stream pipeline? I think they own like 55% of it. Germany was another one.
They export their Russia.
No, I know that, but break down the equity. It's break down who owns this. Break down who owns percentage, exact percentage. You see where it says, does Russia own it? Go to the first one. People ask. Go to the bottom right there. Click to see it says percentage. There it is. 50+% is owned by Russia. Why would they do anything to it?
It's
exactly.
Right. So,
and by the way, it was like, yes, they didn't the former Prime Minister of UK send a text? He says she said it's done, and then she resigned.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember all this?
Yeah, of course.
Then they thought it was Biden.
By the way, let me ask you this. Two questions. One, if you're Putin, how do you process this? And what are your next move to the media? And number two, if you're Trump, how do you use this intel that just came out?
Yeah, that they're doing the Russia whole, they're blaming Russia for everything.
If you're Putin, what do you do? If you're Trump, what do you do right now? If you're Putin, how do you handle this today?
I cannot believe the Western media. We've been saying this for 9 months. Once again, we didn't do it. We weren't part of the collusion in your election. We weren't part of this. This is being done by manipulative operatives that you're trying to keep the war going in Ukraine. Yeah, he had another failed attempt of making him the boogeyman and making him like the devil. Like, dude, that Zelensky. This had. I think we even said that it couldn't have been him. Why would he do that? Like, it's a critical infrastructure for Russia. Ukraine pulled it up. Remember the simple, as we know with LBJ CIA, we come down 50 years later now, and 60 years later, and the simplest explanation suddenly is.
It was, exactly.
And now the simple thing is, hey, drunk on a yacht, what if we blow the pipeline, blame Russia, and that'll get more sympathy for us so we can get these billions of dollars. And we can, by the way, legitimately fight back for our borders, but also keep the money train
coming. Let me read this entire article. Report by U.S. on Wall Street Journal. No, Rob. A report by U.S. on Wall Street Journal claims that Kiev concocted the plan to blow up the pipeline, bring in Russian gas to Germany in May of 2022, citing 4 anonymous Ukrainian military sources. A small Ukrainian crew disguised as a pleasure boat, that's the one you read. The operation was concocted during a drunken night in May 2022.
Bingo, here it is.
And Ukrainian military officers forces celebrated halting Russia's full-scale invasion of the country and were looking to deal another blow to Moscow, the newspaper reported, citing four anonymous sources. Nord Stream is a network of pipelines running under the Baltic Sea from Russia to Germany to provide Western Europe with natural gas, meaning it provided billions to the Kremlin coffers. The scheme reportedly costs around $300,000 and involves a 6-member crew on a small rented yacht. Ukrainian President Zelensky initially proved it before the U.S. intelligence agency. CIA caught wind and asked him to stop. Holy shit. The Ukrainian president ordered a halt, but his commander-in-chief, Zelenskyy, went ahead and with the operation anyway. The outlet said it had spoken to 4 senior Ukrainian defense and security officials who either participated in or had direct knowledge of the plot, and all of them were considered the pipelines as a legitimate target as it defended itself against Russia. Euronews could not independently verify the claims made by these sources. Germany and Poland doubt Ukraine's involvement. Really? And by the way, you know why they have to say that? Let me tell you why they may have to say that. You'll see why they have to say that. WSJ also said that portions of the sources account that has been corroborated by a German investigation into the matter, yet German intelligence officers have said they doubt that Ukraine was really behind the sabotage and that it's possible it was a false flag operation by Russia. Yeah, right. This is supported by Polish authorities who sent the names of Russian suspects to Germany's intelligence service. The WSJ article comes after Germany media reported that prosecutors had issued the first arrest warrant in their investigation into the Nord Stream attack. The report identified the man, Volodymyr Z, without citing sources that suggested he had recently returned to Ukraine. Polish authorities have since revealed that they attempted to arrest him at his address in a near town Warsaw in July, but that he had allegedly gone back to his native country. He wasn't stopped at the Polish-Ukrainian border because German authorities failed to enter his name in a wanted database. The Polish prosecutor office had on Wednesday, German reports also 2 other suspects, married couple Svetlana, and even Uspenska, who run a diving school in Ukraine. They have both denied being involved in the attack, as their maximum dive depth is 30 meters compared to the approximately 80 meters at which the explosion happened.
They don't push the envelope when it comes to diving.
You know, when we blow crap up, we only go to 30 meters. It wasn't us.
How much credibility you give this story by WSJ? WSJ is not just any... They're fairly in the middle. How much credibility do you give to the story?
I give a lot of credibility to this, and you can see what looks like a comedy of errors is actually stand downs. It's like, he's at the border. Should I enter his name into? No. Don't put his name in. Just wave him through.
Oh, yeah, are you ready for this? Yeah, listen, we own diving company, but we only go 30 meters. 80 is way too much for us. Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
And CIA satellite photo. Are those 2 girls on the yacht wearing full black dive suits and gun belts?
Yeah, but
it seems like a pleasure cruise to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the learning lesson for me is, you know, whenever something massive, ridiculous happens, we jump to massive conclusions. Whether it's the Nord Stream situation, whether it's, you know, Biden resigning, whether it's Trump getting shot. But sometimes when you give something time and you find out the stories, it turns out this Nord Stream 2 thing was a bunch of drunk Ukrainian guys being like, I can't believe we did it. We stopped Vladimir. You know what we should do? As they're drunk, we're going to get a boat and we're going to go blow up the whole pipeline.
Yeah, I know 2 girls. I know 2 hot girls with diving school.
Exactly. So literally what happened, as according to the Wall Street Journal here, is... for $300,000.
Yeah, who paid them?
They rented a boat, rented a small yacht with a 6-member crew.
Probably American tax dollar money, but go ahead.
They trained the civilian divers. They put a little hodgepodge operation together.
Yeah, we'll pay for the loss damage waiver insurance too. We need that.
One was a woman, quote unquote, whose presence helped create the illusion that they were a group of friends on a pleasure cruise.
Yeah.
And whether Zelensky called it off, didn't call off, who knows? A $300,000 investment. You ask, how do people feel about this? When this happened and you cut off the gas that it basically fuels Europe,
all of it.
How much did this cost the EU and Europe and Germany? Everything that $3 billion, $300 billion. How much money?
God, no.
So this $300,000 investment costs so much ridiculous money.
But here's the question, though. So I just looked it up. Shareholder 51% is Russia. Mm-hmm. 15.5% is split between German companies Wintershall and PEG. Then the Dutch gas company Gaussini, 9%, and French gas company Engie, 9%. Okay. What does Germany, France, and the Dutch have in common? What are they all a part of?
They're part of NATO and the EU. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
And what does Russia not have in common with those three countries?
They don't want NATO any closer, which would annoy them about Ukraine.
Part of NATO. Okay. And where is Ukraine in this? Are they part of NATO? Are they not part of NATO, but soon to be part of NATO?
They were thinking about NATO, which pissed off Russia.
Got it. Yeah. And just last year, if I don't recall, in July, they were trying to accelerate the membership that Biden was talking about for NATO. It's like, what if we can find a way to accelerate the membership to piss off Putin? So, if this story is accurate, what does Zelensky do with the $200 billion that's been given to him? What should happen to that money?
Well, we know for a fact that there's been a lot of corruption and that they've siphoned money off the top.
Yeah.
And we know that they're basically fighting a forever war and that a lot of that money got siphoned back to the United States, to the very senators and congressmen that voted to give it to them.
Huh. That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
But he's going to pay back money. He said, give me money,
I give
pay
you
back.
1% for the dark money pack for your campaign.
Not only that, him doing this disrupted the world.
Yep.
U.S. was aware of it. We still kept giving money. We still kept getting support, even though CIA communicated with them. And even after this happened, what was the date? What was the date of this, Rob?
The actual
Nord Stream pipeline blown. What was the date?
Was it a year? I'll say 8.
It was May of 2022 that they started these conversations, and 4 months later, September 26th of 22.
Yep. September 26th.
What was the date? September 26, 2022?
Yeah. So if he's behind it and he's causing us, and we're giving him $200 billion to fight a war against these people, and he's doing basically false flag shit to make this guy look bad, I want my money back.
Well,
no, what do you mean? I want
Europe is going to have to.
Well, check this out. So that's September 26th. On December 21st of 22, he visited Zelensky, the U.S. During his 10-hour visit, Zelensky met with Biden, held a joint press conference, and addressed a joint session of the United States Congress. So he came less than 3 months after this event, and that's what it was. 3 months after this event, if the CIA knew, Joe Biden knew, yet you still held a press conference with him to defend him against Russia, which, by the way, indirectly, you were flirting with World War III, even though you knew this was happening. Oh, I don't know, man.
Not good.
I don't know. Let me tell you, it's very, very important to know of the credibility of this story. Wall Street Journal doesn't just write stories.
No, they don't. And I can't wait to see what
I'm
Putin's
on the
response
same
is.
line of thinking.
Let's see what
I have a lot of questions, folks. Here's what I can tell you. What I do know for a fact is I'm convinced the future looks bright, and we want 1 million people to wear the gear Future Looks Bright. The USA hats, last time we had, it sold out like this. They're officially back, the USA hats. If you want them, order them ASAP. If your entire family loves America and you want to sport it for the rest of the year. So indirectly, when you nowadays people are like, well, when you have an American flag in the house, what are you really saying politically? Which way do you lean? It means I love America. You know what people think when you wear a USA hat and you're walking around and on the side it says Future Looks Bright? You're making a statement when you wear this. And by the way, brand spanking new limited gear being dropped here. This will go out in no time. I wear these flip-flops now because when you have Jesus feet like I do, you have to wear flip-flops that are comfortable. And these are the most comfortable flip-flops. It's got the gel in it and a little lift here when you wear this. It's ridiculous.
Feels good.
Future Looks Bright, American flag. Wear them during the summer. Wear them while you're walking out. Wear them while you're walking your dogs at the house with the VT logo on it. This is limited supply. First come, first serve. Some sizes will probably be gone. Go to VT Merch and order it. And by the way, for those of you that are getting the VT gear, Post the pictures all over the place. We see you. Can we show some of these? Look at this one here. Pink VT hat. Go to the next one, Rob, if you can.
I know her.
This is Nick Moore, who's an NFL player for the Baltimore Ravens there. If you can zoom in.
Yeah.
Zoom in right there. That's him. Look what he's wearing to the left.
Wow.
Freaking walking in with a future looks bright hat. What a stud. Go to the left one, Rob. That's him. That's another one with the military one. Good for you with the beard. Another one sporting it. Keep going, Rob. We got hundreds of these. Brian McClain, keep going. Another one. These were unique ones that we had. Keep going.
Nice.
Keep going. Baby girl, keep going, keep going, adorable. Keep going, Rob, keep going, keep going. Anyways, we got a bunch of these here. Gang, buy the gear, sport it, let the world know you believe the future looks bright, especially if you represent the brand. I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you. I love the fact that we got confident, strong people who believe in debate, discourse, that want to represent the freedom and different values and principles that we believe in. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Go to v2merch.com, place your order.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.